Welcome back, friend. Today we are on the 20th of January, and this is our final closing day before we shift into the 2022 energy. Okay, so tomorrow's video might be a little bit longer because I want to really break down the entire chart so that you are being able to recognize what's happening in the world. So today we'll close it off. I don't think it'll be a very long video. However, I've said that in the past and it has been. All right. So again, congratulate yourself if you're still here. We're building a practice. We are building a capacity and a capability inside of you. And that, my friends, the logical spot an area of human design, that's what it's all about. Repetition, 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 repetition. We need to repeat things and practice and do things so that we then generate a whole new pattern for our cellular structure. If we're continuing to do the same that we've always done, we're always going to get the same result. Okay, so let's take a look at this. And some of you might go, but Leanne, human design isn't about results. You are in a human reality. So whatever the result is for you, it might be monetary, it might be completely different. It might be just the freedom to move around and just be. Others might have that capacity to really create and do, because I'm creating an online course right now, another one, where we really focus in on be versus do, because we're moving to a be. And currently right now, we're this mixture of be and do. Okay. Hopefully I didn't confuse you. Let's take a look at our number one shift today. And that's the 40th gate. Again, another one of my favorites. It's part of my design. And this is so fitting to close off the 2021 year. The point of transition between struggle and liberation. My friends, this is massive. Struggle for me, I don't love that word, okay? Because really, when I look at it in the design, it's truly all about being in a state of uncomfortableness. We want to be in a state of uncomfortableness. So when we say struggle, there's lots of connotation around struggle, like, oh, life has to be hard and difficult and challenging. Growth is actually through getting out of your own comfort zone and doing something that you've never done before. Like, I remember when I first started doing YouTube, that was years ago, but it was like, oh, I don't know how to do this. I was throwing videos up. I didn't understand the algorithm. I didn't understand the SEO part of it. I didn't understand a whole bunch of things until I practiced, until I started doing more of it. I'm still not an expert in it by any means. And I'm still learning, but it felt like, quote unquote, a struggle. It was challenging. It was the zone of, it wasn't my zone of genius, but I've learned a lot about it. And now it feels liberating to have these conversations with you guys. I love it. I love being able to teach and being able to share and do it from a place of source material and connection with the consciousness field. So it feels like liberation. So where do you want to feel liberation in your business, in your life, in your relationships? It all begins, my friends. It all begins with the 40th gate telling you that we need to be used well. That's what the 40th gate indicates to us. We need to be used well. We are all using each other. You're a character in my book. I'm a character in your book. We use each other. We use each other as sounding boards. We use each other's skills. We use each other's thoughts. We are here to use each other. Are you being used well? Do you feel as though your assets and your skill set and your capacity and your thought patterns are being used well? Do you feel like your human meat suit when interacting with others is being used well? That's what you really want to look at today, because liberation is when we truly recognize we are creating our own reality. All of those pieces and parts in our world are creations through our own thought processes. Again, if it's the conditioned mind, guess what's happening? We have a lot of frustration and anger and disappointment and bitterness, and we don't feel like we're being used well. On the other hand, when we're connecting with the consciousness field and we're seeing that no thing and we're bringing it down and building these Lego blocks of our world, our lives, our own reality right here in front of us, and using our strategy and authority to interact with that new interface, all of a sudden there's satisfaction there. All of a sudden there's a whole bunch of peace there. All of a sudden the surprise of all the potential and the success that it brings into ourselves. Now, here's what I'm going to say. We actually need to shift to those emotions prior to anything showing up in our life. Now you might go, but Leanne, it's hard. I want to see the evidence of it first, and then I'll believe it. I want you to lean deeper into your own individual truth. You know, deep down, deep inside of you, everything that you have to offer to the world, because the consciousness field is backing you 110%. It's saying, yes, I am here. Direct me, utilize me, ask me to be your co-creator in this reality. And now you have the capacity to be used well, because the characters in your book are your creation. This is how we take responsibility for our lives. This is how liberation can literally show up in our world. There's no more victim mentality. There's no more blaming. It's like, man, you know, I know what's happening when I interact with my husband. We don't have children, but when I interact with my husband and he shows up and I've got negative thought patterns, he shows up in my world to absolutely show me what those negative thought patterns are. If I'm having positive thought patterns, he shows up in my world to show me that I have positive thought patterns. I will tell you that my dog is like that. My cows are like that. My cats are like that. They can sense my level of vibrational energy. And when it's not in a healthy state, when it's in that conditioned mind grinding away, they have grave concern. My dog, the look on his face is like, Mom, what's happening? The cows are like, no, I don't need to be touched today. So what is your level of vibrational energy? Do you feel like you're in a struggle and you're not being used well? Or do you feel liberated because you know you're being used well, because you have created that reality in your life? Today's theme, sharing, curiosity. See what other people are sharing with you. See what you're sharing with other people. Okay. But lean deep into, are you on the brink of liberation and you just need the support to get you there? Or are you still in the struggle, in that uncomfortable zone, in that challenge, and you just aren't quite sure what the next steps are. I'm here to support you when you are ready. This is what I get to do for you. Okay. So tomorrow, a little bit longer video, we are going to set you in 2022 up so that you can move through whatever's happening on the outside circumstances, because you know on the other side of that struggle, on the other side of that challenge, there's this beautiful, beautiful space that you've already created in your imagination. Now your 3D reality gets to catch up with it. Okay. So we're going to take action steps to get you to where you need to go, because I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The throat center is all about action, and the entire chart is moving that way. It's correct action. It isn't what everybody else is telling you. Okay? Has to be correct. Has to be from that space of strategy and authority that you're making decisions. Okay? You're making decisions from the entire reality versus the conditioning field. Okay? We are going to play. It's going to be so fun tomorrow. Okay. Have fun closing off the 2021 year. Breathe into it. Enjoy it. Feel the liberation. Now let's shift gears and go towards what it is that you truly want to see out of 2022.